Okay, let's go again. This was a bit lucky in that last game. Another IM to John. So this is a killer IM. I don't know, something to try and play solidly. So I think he's beaten me every game before, but let's try and get out of the mind in this system. So he might play the most direct way, bishop d3, c3, queen c2. Biggest test. So bishop e3 first, he's making way for queenside. Castling maybe. Bishop c4. So if I be bishop f5, maybe knight e2 to g3. I'll let that happen, I think. Okay, knight d7 there. Now, this guy is dangerous, and he kind of, I don't know, he kind of makes me a bit nervous, but yeah, he's going to castle queenside now. Maybe this is not as bad as I thought, or is it worse, knight g3 and h4? So this is definitely a system here at work. So what about a5, trying to provoke a3? Play a5 without castling yet. But on the other hand, alright, bishop b4, I could provoke c3 for whatever good that is, or c5, or weaken b5. So maybe I can castle next b5. I don't think he'd want to give that target the a4 pawn. Mind you, can't castle kingside at the moment because of bishop h2, so knight g3, bishop g6. Aha! Right. Can I try to play c5 now to try and block that bishop in? I'll give it a go. So there's no knight g3s at the moment. This looks alright compared to, I think, my previous game with this guy. This killer of an IM. So, castling queenside is a bit more difficult, I hope. He might play it now, though, because I've lost my b5 lever because I've just played c5. On the other hand, c4. Bishop goes over there. Maybe b5 is a pawn sack. This h4 seems a bit dubious. Is he really serious about this move? Okay, the bishop transfer is dangerous, but then knight b6 to c4. If knight b6, c4. I think I'll play this, knight b6 to c4. What's the knight doing there anyway? So if I play knight c6, maybe knight takes e3. Just get that dark squared bishop. So it looks alright so far, tactically. His king, he hasn't decided where to move it yet. So bishop f3, knight c4. Is it worth taking that bishop off the board? If I take to the pawn, there's bishop g3. If it takes to the queen, there's rook e8. This looks pleasant after knight b6. Okay, so bishop c5 here. Is there a problem? Bishop c5. I hope there isn't. Is there anything stronger? Knight takes d5. C takes d6. I think I've got to take. Okay, so what's going on here? Bishop, queen c3 is bishop b4. If he moves the bishop back, right, there's bishop f2 if I want it. Queen c5, queen d5. Is that exactly what he wants, though? If I don't do that, say I play queen d7, there's no bishop f2s. I think bishop f2 works here. I hope it does. And this is queen d4, queen d4. Yeah, queen d4, queen d5, queen b6. Do I want to play another move here? Maybe queen e7. Just queen e7. My bishop b3 or queen d7. Bishop f3 is going to happen. There isn't knight d5, bishop c7, bishop b4, c3. It's bishop f2, king f2, queen c5, queen d4. Right, so queen d7, there's no bishop f7. The bishop moves back to f3. What about just queen e7 here? I think I've got to do something. Queen e7. Keep some tension on the board, but I've lost the whole minute. So this isn't brilliant. Maybe rook d8 to try and embarrass this queen. Or is it better to play knight c4 to e5? That'll at least attack that bishop. Leaving me with a good dark square bishop if he takes. I can undo all the pawns as well. So knight c4 to e5. Maybe. In fact, is there a problem here? No, bishop f3, there's no problem here. Knight c4, if queen c3 there's bishop b4. Where does the queen move? It moves to d5? Maybe there's knight takes b2. Maybe this is okay. Or do I play bishop b4 first? c3, knight takes b2, c takes, knight d3 check. That's interesting as well. Alright, so I think knight c4 anyway. First. Right, so there's bishop b4, there's bishop c2, there's bishop f2, I suppose. There's bishop e4. Actually, that's an annoying one, because then I could double his pawns if he just routinely castles. If he doesn't, I've got pressure on e2. This isn't bad. Catching up on the clock here. So is this guy indestructible or what? Find out relevant resources here. Focus on the board, not the person. So what are the resources? Castles, bishop f3 looks diabolical. His queen's in a difficult spot. His king's a bit vulnerable in the centre at the moment. Don't know how I've got this position, but it's a good position. I don't think his system was that convincing against it. So in fact, if he castles just bishop f3 and queen e2, if he takes on e2, queen e4, the king's embarrassed because of that knight. So this looks gorgeous, this position. I'll be gutted if I lost it, but given his rating, he's going to be exceptionally resourceful, I guess. I don't know, or is his position resignable? That would be an arrogant thing to think, if his position's resignable here. But his king's still in the centre. I mean, it does look diabolical. Okay, so some accuracy. So queen e6 protects the c4 knight. I think I'll go with that, queen e6. I can come to b6. Okay, bishop b4 check here. Bishop e3. Maybe bishop e3 and have a big knight there. Or knight e3. I think I like my bishops actually. So knight e3. Keeping the king in the centre. So maybe just rook move now. So we can get rook. Okay, I don't mind the exchange. It should weaken his position a little bit. Rook d2 now. Rook on the 7th. Play rook e2 and bishop d4 surely. I hope. So there's no back row mate at the moment. Right, queen e3 just to cleanly win the queen. Yes! SirJohn collapses, and I've beaten my auto pairing rating record. I've just smashed it. 2-3-5-3. If we have a look at this, so main window, 2353, 23rd of October 2009. Pretty cool. I'm really pleased with that. That was a strange game, how I got any advantage out of the opening. He just plays such an odd system. It seems the simple a5, and now after this pathetic h4, he was in real trouble, it seems, after this knight b6. Strange game. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.